Hello and good morning, friends. Winners don't snooze. Not because they never feel tired, but because they understand something most people overlook. They understand that progress is built in moments no one applauds, in the quiet choices made before the world wakes up, in the discipline practiced when comfort is tempting and effort feels invisible. Snoozing is not about sleep. It is about postponing responsibility. Every time you delay the day, you delay the version of yourself you are trying to become. Winners know that waiting for the perfect mood or the perfect moment only strengthens habits that keep you where you are. They rise not because it is easy, but because consistency matters more than motivation. Unseen progress begins with small decisions. The decision to start when no one is watching, to practice before results appear, to show up even when energy is low and recognition is absent. These decisions don't feel heroic, but they are powerful because they repeat. Winners don't chase applause, they chase alignment. They understand that real growth happens quietly, in routines, in habits, in daily effort that does not announce itself. While others wait for inspiration, they rely on structure. While others snooze, they invest in discipline. Unseen progress requires patience. It asks you to trust that effort matters, even when results are delayed. To believe that today's small actions are shaping tomorrow's strength. This belief separates those who continue from those who quit. Winners build momentum before confidence arrives. They don't wait to feel ready. They move and allow readiness to follow. Every early morning, every disciplined choice adds a layer of self-respect. And self-respect becomes the fuel for long-term success. Snoozing keeps comfort in control. Rising gives purpose control. There will be days when progress feels invisible, when effort feels unnoticed. But winners understand that invisible work compounds. Like roots growing beneath the surface, unseen effort strengthens what will later stand tall. One day, results appear, and people call it luck. They call it talent. They call it overnight success. But winners know the truth. Success was built quietly, in habits no one celebrated, in mornings no one witnessed, in progress no one saw. So don't measure your life by how loudly it changes. Measure it by how consistently you show up. Because winners don't snooze their alarms. They wake up to their responsibility. And that responsibility, practiced daily, patiently, faithfully, is the habit of unseen progress. That is how real winning is built. Winners don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Motivation is loud, emotional, and unpredictable. It arrives suddenly and disappears just as quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is quiet and steady. It shows up even when motivation is absent. And that is why winners build their lives on discipline, not feelings. Motivation asks, how do I feel today? Discipline asks what needs to be done. Winners understand this difference early. They know there will be mornings when energy is low and enthusiasm is missing. They know there will be days when progress feels slow and effort feels heavy. But discipline does not wait for excitement. It acts despite discomfort. Discipline is a promise kept. A promise to show up even when no one is watching. A promise to continue even when results are invisible. A promise to do the work even when it feels ordinary. This is where unseen progress begins. Motivation often depends on external rewards. Discipline is built on internal values. When you act from discipline, you are guided by who you want to become, not how you feel in the moment. Winners don't wake up inspired every day. They wake up committed. Commitment creates structure. Structure creates habit. And habit creates momentum. This momentum carries winners through days when motivation would have failed them. Discipline also builds self-trust. Each time you follow through, you prove something important to yourself, that you are reliable, that you can be counted on, and that trust becomes confidence. Motivation feels good, but discipline feels meaningful. It gives you control over your growth. It frees you from waiting for the right mood. and it ensures that progress continues even in silence. Some days, discipline will feel heavy, but its rewards are deep. It shapes character, it strengthens resilience, and it builds results that last. One day, people will admire your consistency. They will call you focused, determined, successful. But they will not see the discipline that carried you through days of doubt and fatigue. Winners don't rely on motivation because motivation fades. They rely on discipline because discipline stays. And that steady commitment, practiced daily, quietly, faithfully, is what turns unseen effort into lasting success. Snoozing delays growth, not just mornings. The snooze button looks harmless. Just 5 more minutes, just a little more comfort. But snoozing is rarely about sleep. It is about postponing effort. It is about choosing comfort over commitment again and again in small, invisible ways. And those small delays add up. When you snooze, you don't just delay the morning. You delay discipline. You delay momentum. You delay the version of yourself you are trying to become. Growth does not disappear when you snooze. It waits. But waiting slowly turns into resistance. And resistance quietly becomes habit. Winners understand that how you start your day shapes how you show up in your life. Rising when it is uncomfortable trains the mind to act before excuses appear. It builds mental strength before the day demands it. That early choice may feel small, but it sets a powerful tone. I choose intention over impulse. Snoozing teaches the opposite lesson. It tells your mind that delay is acceptable, that effort can wait, that discipline is negotiable. Over time, this mindset leaks into other areas of life. Postponed goals, unfinished plans, missed opportunities. Unseen progress is built by immediate action, by choosing movement instead of delay, by responding instead of postponing, by starting before comfort settles in. Winners don't wake up excited every morning. They wake up responsible. They understand that progress is fragile in its early stages. It needs protection from excuses, not perfection. Snoozing feels good in the moment, but it costs you momentum, and momentum is precious. There will be days when rising feels heavy, when staying still feels tempting, but those are the days when growth is happening beneath the surface, when discipline is being strengthened, when unseen progress is taking root. One day results appear, and people see confidence, success, achievement. But they don't see the mornings you chose effort over ease. They don't see the times you didn't snooze. Not just your alarm, but your responsibility. Because winners don't rush their mornings. They respect them. They know that every time they choose to rise instead of delay, they are not just waking up earlier, they are moving forward. And that is how unseen progress is protected. One decision at a time. Unseen progress is built through small, repeated daily choices. Most people look for progress they can see, results they can measure, success they can show. But the most powerful growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface, long before there is anything to prove. Unseen progress begins with choices that feel ordinary. Choosing to wake up when it's easier to stay in bed. Choosing to practice when motivation is low. Choosing discipline when no one is watching. These choices don't feel dramatic. They don't feel impressive, but they matter because they repeat. Success is not built in big moments. It is built in consistent ones. Every small choice you make trains your identity. It tells your mind who you are becoming. When you choose effort repeatedly, even in small ways, you are shaping habits, and habits shape outcomes. Unseen progress requires trust. Trust that showing up matters even when results are invisible. Trust that today's effort is adding weight to tomorrow's strength. This trust is what separates those who continue from those who quit too early. Many people stop because they don't see immediate change. They mistake invisibility for ineffectiveness. But growth often hides before it reveals itself. Just like roots grow before branches appear, your discipline is strengthening long before success is visible. Winners respect small choices. They don't dismiss them. They protect them. They understand that consistency compounds. One disciplined day may not change your life, but many disciplined days will. Small choices also build confidence quietly. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-respect. Each time you follow through, you prove reliability to yourself. And that internal trust is more powerful than external praise. Unseen progress is fragile at first. It can be destroyed by excuses, by comparison, by impatience. That is why winners guard their routines. They don't wait for validation. They wait for growth. One day the progress becomes visible. People will notice your discipline, your consistency, your results, and they will call it success. But you will know the truth. Success was built quietly. In the choices no one applauded, in the effort no one tracked, in the days that felt ordinary. So don't underestimate your small daily choices. They are not small. They are shaping who you are becoming. And that unseen progress, repeated patiently, faithfully, daily, is exactly what creates winners. Consistency matters more than recognition in long-term success. Most people are motivated by applause. They want their effort to be seen, acknowledged, and celebrated. They want progress that looks impressive and success that earns approval. But recognition is unpredictable. It comes late, or sometimes not at all. Winners understand something deeper. They do not work for recognition. They work for alignment. They show up even when no one notices. They continue even when no one claps. Because they know that recognition does not create success. Consistency does. Recognition is external. Consistency is internal. When you depend on recognition, your effort becomes conditional. You work harder when you're praised and slow down when you're ignored. But when you depend on consistency, your effort becomes stable. You show up because it's who you are, not because someone is watching. Unseen work builds visible results. The hours practiced alone. The routines followed quietly. The habits repeated without reward. These moments may feel invisible, but they are doing the real work. They are strengthening discipline, sharpening focus, and building mastery from the inside out. Consistency teaches patience. It teaches you to trust the process even when progress feels slow, to continue even when excitement fades. This patience is rare and powerful. Recognition often comes after the work is done. People celebrate outcomes, not effort. They see the result, not the repetition behind it. Winners accept this truth early. They stop waiting for validation and start committing to the process. Consistency also builds integrity. When you do what you said you would do, even when no one checks, you build self-respect. And self-respect becomes confidence. Confidence becomes resilience. And resilience creates success that lasts. There will be days when your effort feels unnoticed, when it seems like others are moving faster, being praised more, or succeeding sooner. In those moments, consistency keeps you grounded. Because you are not racing for attention, you are building for longevity. One day recognition may arrive, or it may not, but by then, it will no longer matter, because consistency will have already shaped you into someone capable, disciplined, and strong. So don't measure your progress by who is watching. Measure it by how often you show up, because long-term success does not belong to the loudest or the most visible. It belongs to the most consistent. Self-respect grows when you show up even when no one is watching. There is a quiet kind of strength that forms when you keep your promises to yourself. Not the promises you announce, not the ones you post about, but the private commitments you honor in silence. That is where self-respect is built. Self-respect is not confidence you show others. It is trust you build with yourself. Every time you show up without an audience, something important happens inside you. You prove that your effort does not depend on praise, that your discipline is not borrowed from external approval, that your growth matters even in solitude. Showing up in silence is uncomfortable. No applause, no validation, no recognition, just you and your decision. But that discomfort is meaningful. It separates performance from purpose. When you show up only when others are watching, your effort becomes fragile. But when you show up regardless, your character becomes strong. Self-respect grows through consistency. It grows when you follow your routine even on low-energy days. When you practice when it feels ordinary. When you continue even when progress feels invisible. These moments may feel small, but they are shaping how you see yourself. Each silent effort sends a message: I can be relied on. I finish what I start. I don't abandon myself. That message becomes belief, and belief becomes confidence. Winners understand this deeply. They don't wait for motivation or attention. They act from alignment. They know that showing up for themselves is more important than being seen by others. There will be days when no one notices your effort, when it feels like your discipline is invisible. But self-respect does not need witnesses. It needs consistency. One day results appear, and others may notice your success. They may admire your confidence, your strength, your stability, but they will not see the silent days that built it. You will, and that is what makes it powerful, because self-respect built in silence cannot be taken away by noise. It stays with you, it steadies you. It becomes the foundation of everything you do next. So keep showing up, especially when no one is watching. That is not weakness. That is winning in its purest form. Real success is built quietly before it is ever seen publicly. What the world celebrates is rarely where success begins. Applause comes late. Recognition arrives after the struggle. But long before anyone notices, something important is happening in silence. Success is being built when no one is looking. It is built in early mornings and disciplined routines, in private effort and unseen sacrifices, in choices that don't look impressive but are deeply meaningful. This quiet phase is not empty. It is essential. Public success is only the echo of private commitment. People often admire results without understanding the process. They see confidence, stability, achievement. But they don't see the repetition, the doubt, the persistence it took to get there. Winners accept this invisibility early. They stop performing for approval and start working for alignment. Quiet work builds strong foundations. When growth happens away from attention, it becomes honest. You are not distracted by validation. You are not pressured to perform. You are free to focus on improvement instead of appearance, and that focus sharpens mastery. Silence teaches patience. It teaches you to trust the process without reassurance, to continue without applause, to believe in effort even when proof is delayed. This patience becomes emotional strength, a strength that holds when challenges arise. Real success is calm. It does not rush. It does not panic. It does not need to announce itself. It grows steadily, shaped by habits, not hype. There will be moments when silence feels heavy, when you wonder if your effort matters, when comparison whispers that others are ahead. In those moments, remember visibility is not value. Quiet growth often lasts longer than loud beginnings. One day success becomes visible. People notice your consistency, your confidence, your results. And they may call it luck, timing, or talent. But you will know the truth. You were becoming long before you were seen. Every silent effort strengthened you. Every disciplined choice shaped you. Every unseen day prepared you for what others now admire. That is why real success feels stable when it arrives. Because it was not built overnight. It was built in silence. And that silence, filled with discipline, patience, and unseen progress, is what made the success real. So if no one notices your effort yet, don't stop. If your progress feels invisible, don't doubt it. And if your discipline feels lonely, trust it. You are becoming in ways the world cannot see. Yet, every time you rise when it would be easier to delay, every time you choose consistency over comfort, every time you show up without applause, you are building something unshakable. You are building character, You are building self-respect. You are building momentum. One day results will appear, and people will call it success. They will admire your strength and your discipline. But they will never fully see the mornings you didn't snooze, the habits you protected, the effort you repeated in silence. You will, and that is what makes it real. Because winners are not made in moments of recognition. They are made in moments of decision, quiet, ordinary, unseen. So keep rising, keep choosing effort, keep trusting the work no one applauds. That unseen progress is not invisible. It is preparing you. And when the world finally notices, you will already be ready.